What is up, YouTube? KM888 here, and today I'm here with my current Pendulum Magician deck. Once more, of course. It's changed a lot since last time. This weekend I went to Dutch Nationals. It's pretty close to me, and my own Nationals is actually further away, which is crazy. I didn't do that bad actually. I went 6-2-1, basically getting 21st place and just getting cut out of top 16. I bubbled. I lost on the bubble. My final match. Probably could have won that. I misplayed somewhere, I feel, but hindsight 2020, right? But yeah, I'm gonna show you guys my deck profile right now, and all I can say right before the deck profile is that the deck was power. Oh my god, I didn't expect it to work this well, and I have to say I'm very proud of it. It's been really great, as well as going first as going second. And I actually made some right choices in certain cards. The deck profile isn't gonna be really fast. I'm not gonna do like every card on its own. If you go to the OCC page that's linked down in the description, it's my team page, you will also find a picture of the deck profile right there. So if you want a quick deck profile, you can just go there, look at the picture, maybe like the page. I mean, my team ain't bad, and so yeah. I'm gonna explain my card choices if I see it fit, and I'm also gonna tell you guys the changes I want to make. Quickly, for the tournament itself, there were 9 rounds, and then there was topcut. So yeah, pretty standard. First round, I won against Cyber Dragon 2-0, pretty easy. Second round against Altergeist 1-1. I won game 1. Game 2 I lost on the grind, but I had a feeling that I could still win, so I kept playing. And eventually I lost it anyways, but there wasn't that much time on the clock left. We couldn't see the clock because there were too many people in front of it, so that kind of sucked. So I made my combo like game 3, and I had full combo. I went off like crazy. It wasn't normal, and I knew that I would have won if my turn would come. And she couldn't do anything. She had like 3-4 plays, but because I had certain cards in the field, she couldn't do anything. If it came back to me, I would have won that game, but yeah, time was called, ended in a draw. Then I had to play against Orcust, 60 card variant with well, dangers, of course, some of the Crusadias, Phantom Knights. It was a mismatch of kind of decks, but I have to say the guy was sitting next to me in the last round, so I'm guessing his deck still performed really well, and it was awesome to see. Won that game 2-1. So yeah. Then there was another Altergeist player, which I beat 2-0. Pretty fast, but I mean, it's what the deck does. It's been great all weekend. I couldn't complain about it anyway. Another Orcust player won that one again 2-1. Then I had to go up against Sky Striker, and I have to say, after playing twice against Sky Striker yesterday and today, I feel like this deck eats Sky Striker for breakfast. It's not normal. It's so easy to play against Sky Striker, even with the Mystic Mine. So yeah. So I won 2-1. That's so awkward to say. I won 2-1. Okay. Then I had to play against a Pendulum mirror match, which I unfortunately lost because I bricked. I am going to explain a card choice that I'm going to change in order to prevent that in the future. And I'm pretty sure that's really going to help, so yeah. Then I won against Sky Strikers. That was this morning, so after round 7 we had the day closed. And this morning I won against Sky Striker 2-0, was really easy again. Not to play disrespect. I mean, the deck just has a really good matchup. It's not even funny, and like Denko just shuts them down immediately if you see it. Right after the final match was coming up, Salamangrates. I won my first game, and then I lost twice. Super Poly is a bitch. I probably could have won that game if I went for slot and just Pendulum summoned that one out and left it at the slot so I could just poke. But I didn't know what cards my opponent would have in his hand, and I made the wrong choice in going for some negates, even through hand traps, and the negates weren't enough because of Super Poly, so yeah. Stuff like that happens. I made the wrong choice. Should have gone for the sloth, but yeah, there's always that. Those were my matchups. I'm gonna go straight into the deck profile. First things first, double curtain raiser. I have cut the most part of the Mythical Beast engine because of reasons that you'll see in a couple of minutes. Curtain raiser was a really good starter for me. It was a level 4, it's a dark, it has everything that you wanted. The reason you're playing this over the Cerberus is because I'm playing a mini Endymion engine, and Servant and this is just a free counter to get something on the field, and you can't do that with the Cerberus, so yeah, the Curtain Raisers were better at that regard. Next up, triple Chronograph Sorcerer, probably MVP again of the day. I mean, the card is busted, like just getting it on the field after an Electromite, after you Pendulum summoned, just enables so many OTKs. I went... Thanks to this, I could have gone into Boral Sword like 6 times or something. And just OTK. It's really easy to do it. Of course, you have to play the brick. I've drawn this in conjunction with the Chronograph a couple of times. Like my deck size is enormous. You can see this. It's 47. I should have mentioned that probably. But there's no consistency issues in the most parts. You'll see that later why. And still, I've seen this in conjunction with the Chronograph like a couple of times, and it's just horrifying because you don't get your pluses, and it's just having 1 or 2 less cards in your hand, basically, so yeah. For the Magician package, I was playing Triple Harmonizing. The card is still busted, but it's not necessary if you can do your combo. Like in your standard combo, you only have to Pendulum summon 2 monsters from your hand. And like if you have the Harmonizing, you only have to Pendulum summon 1, but like why? So you don't really mind anything. So Harmonizing is still good, but it's better in situations where you don't have your full combo. So you actually have to play it at 3. Also, there's a lot of hand traps, so having this just makes your play so much easier. I was playing double Oath Dragon. I thought that Oath Dragon was a really good pick. At 2, Desires is in my deck, and I really didn't want to cut this down. Getting the extra plus is so important, and if you banish one, you still have the other. It actually came up a couple of times, so I'm happy I played 2. Nothing I would change there. For other Magicians, I was playing double Black Fang and 1 Purple Poison. These 3 are actually enormously important. Like, if you go Harmonizing, you have to summon something from the deck, and having a level 4... I mean, I only have 3 level 4 Magicians. I'm not playing Wisdomize because I play the Endymion package. They kind of conflict with each other, so you don't want to do that. But only having the 3 was actually not that much, but it kind of worked out. So you always had something to go into with the Harmonizing, and it was actually decent at that point. So yeah, and worst case scenario, I went into Oath Dragon or Time Gazer if I banished them all from the Desires. But yeah, they were good. It was really fine. So playing the 3, I thought Black Fang would be more prominent than the Purple Poison, but looking at the scales, I feel that because you always want to have the Oath in your scale next to a Magician, next to Dragon Pit or something, I kind of decided to cut the Purple Poison to 1 because it's scale 1, so the Black Fang is more important at that point. So yeah. Also, the scale effects did come in a couple of times, but not that much. So yeah, I mean, the opponent is more like playing around them, so it's easier to play with. So yeah. And the final Magician, 1 Dragon Pit Magician. This card was a really good card. Never cut this. It's outed Mystic Mine against Sky Striker. I've had a couple of times where I summoned Denko and then decided to pop their back row so I can link the Denko away. This card was amazing all day. It's never been bad. It was the last Magician that I was playing, but I would add another one, Dragon Caller Magician. I'm going to tell you guys which cards I'm going to cut for that, but I will add a Dragon Caller Magician to the deck, as soon as I get it. The only time that I bricked my hand was all magicians with a Pendulum call, which means that you can't use Electromite, you can't go off in the way you want to, and because I'm playing Guard Dragon as well, so if you can't get to your Dragon Engine at that point, you're going to lose. Because you can't set up enough negates, because your extra deck isn't... is kind of tied up around the Guard Dragon for the most part. Not entirely, but really for a big part. So I'm gonna play the Dragon Caller Magician just in case that happens. And the change won't do that much, so yeah. So that's it for the Magician lineup. For the rest of the deck, triple Servant of Endymion. This card was nuts when you see it. Like, every time I saw this, I won my game. It's just having this 3 counters on it means you get to special a Jackal King from the deck. It's stupid. Like, yeah, it was crazy. I was only playing a mini engine, like 3 servants, and then one of the big one, Endymion, the mighty master of magic. And then the 3 spells, but it's only 7, but it doesn't matter because this is exactly what you need in the Pendulum Magician deck. And just getting out your Jackal King, which I'm playing 2 of, means you can't get hand trap. Well, you can get hand trap, but you'll negate 1 monster hand trap anyway, so yeah. It just made your play so much safer. It was amazing. Not playing the Cerberus because the Cerberus conflicts with some of the other cards in my deck. I don't want to get ashed on that. You can get ashed on the Servant as well, but if you have enough spell cards in your hand, you can just accumulate 3 more and just use the effect again. So there's always that possibility. So ashing the Servant doesn't seem too good for opposing players. So half of the time they won't even ash it, and then your play is safe. They kind of forget you're going to summon a Jackal King sometimes. It's weird. So yeah, I was playing this for my Endymion engine for the monsters. I do count my Jackal Kings as an Endymion engine because they're only in there because of that. So yeah, it was actually pretty fun to use these. And then for the Dragon Engine, of course, triple Darkworm card is nuts. Every time I saw this with Pendulum Call, I won. Every time I get it off, like if it's in the graveyard, my field gets broken. Just special summon it again. It's free. It's so good. One's Gate 0. I kinda like a second one, but you don't want to brick on it, even though the deck is a little bit bigger. So 1 proved to be enough. If I needed a second one, I just shuffled it back with the Vortex. So that kind of happened a couple of times, 3 times, and then I specialed this again, and then got another Surge. But yeah, like, this was fine, the ratios. For targets, for my Heretic Seal of, what's it called, Heavenly Spheres, I was playing the 1 Amorphage Sloth and the 1 Aether, the Evil Empowering Dragon. This card was really good today. I have to say that, like, this weekend it did banish some monsters. But sometimes it snuck into my hand in the opening, and it was kind of weird to have it, so I just Pendulum summoned it and it served as Link Fodder. So I'm probably going to cut this card for the Dragon Caller Magician just to make everything more consistent. Not having to draw this, getting another low scale instead. So yeah, I'm sure it's a level 7 instead of a level 6, but you don't mind, I guess. And just having the Sloth for the Heretic Seal is probably fine. If I banish it with the Desires, I still have my Destrudo, I still have my Darkworm. Speaking of Destrudo, it's the final card in my Dragon package, so yeah. This card, I've used it, I did count it earlier today, like 13 times during the entire tournament, 13 or 14 was it. Every time I did use it, I won. So, it's crazy. Like, just play Destrudo in this build. It's amazing. So, to sum it up, I'm going to cut the Aether for Dragon Caller Magician. That's probably also the only choice in the main deck that I want to change, that I want to swap. So, yeah. For spell cards, double Pendulum Call and triple Duelist Alliance. I'm not playing 3-3 because you don't want to brick on having 2 or more. But you want more Duelist Alliance than Pendulum Call because Draw and Lock isn't as used anymore. while Servant needs a counter. So if you go Duelist Alliance when Servant is in scale, you get a counter. Use Pendulum Call, get another counter. If you have other spell cards, you can use those first so you can get a Jackal King. Protect the Pendulum Call from being ashed. It's really amazing. I mean, it's just really solid. Triple Spell Power Mastery. Mainly this card is used to search the Servant. If you have the Servant and this, it's basically the same as having Pendulum Call with Darkworm. Just crazy parts that are happening. Yeah, it's bunkers. I mean, really. Triple Dragon Shrine. I'm playing 47, so having 3 Shrine is a necessity to get the Darkworm into the graveyard. If you don't see the Darkworm, you can't get your Guard Dragon combo off unless you have the Dragon Caller in that point, which I wasn't playing. So yeah, I've noticed that. And then the 1 Foolish Burial, your 4th Dragon Shrine basically. But you can use both of them in one turn. So I had 2 duels where I drew both. Just went Darkworm with this one, special it, get a gate 0, use this for Destrudo, and just made plays before I Pendulum summoned. So yeah. Always nice to have these both in conjunction. And then the rest of my deck are actually draw cards. The theory behind it is you don't mind playing more than 40 because you have this many draw cards and you're going to go under 40 with them anyways. So yeah. I mean, I'm playing exactly 7 draw cards, which means at 47, it does mean you're playing less than 40. Like with the Desires, you're going under it. The 1 Upstart Goblin, just accumulating those counters on the Servant, and then triple Into the Void. I know that this is a tech that a lot of people are picking up on. You don't really mind that you have to discard your hand in the end phase. You can just Pendulum Summon it all out, use some things for fodder, and just link away, and then normal summon, and go from there. I mean, the Into the Void just accumulate counters on the Servant, and you throw away your hand anyways, and if you happen to be able to draw more cards, like you could just set a card and wait for next turn. So yeah, if you play it right, Into the Voids don't even matter. Like it's crazy. I didn't play Pendulum Halt because I was playing Into the Void. I have to say that in a version where you're playing the Endymion, like even it's a small package, you don't want to be playing Pendulum Halt because if you activate that, your draws are ending. So and your searches, so you can't go further on because of it. I wanted to deck in 1 Pendulum Halt just because I was playing 2 Pendulum Calls with 3 Duelist Lines, but in the off case that if I see the Pendulum Halt and I go Into the Void, I can't even use a Pendulum Halt at the end because it will just give me too many cards, so I can't put them all on the board, and then they'll just get discarded, and that would just be a shame. Like I could set it for next turn, as I said, but it's just a -1 at that point. You want to do your full combo, so yeah. That was main deck. I think just changing up that 1 card would actually make it more consistent and less able to be bricked with. So yeah. Extra deck now. The 1 Electromite, obvious choice. I'm playing the Beat Cup. I found this better than the Wee Witch in any build because at first the Wee Witch is actually you can only make it with 2 darks. And you are playing non-darks like the Servant, maybe if you're siding like the Denko in case you need it for a link summon, you never know. This thing is actually generic, so it doesn't mind what you make it. There are actually a lot of possibilities where you just have to make this. I made this card twice where I wouldn't have been able to make it with Wee Witch. So I don't care. I'm just playing Beat Cup. It has some uses in the fact that you can protect your cards actually. So if you make it with 2 darks, you can tribute it, or any other monster on the field. I do think you can tribute itself. Yeah, you can tribute 1 monster, so it's like you can even tribute itself. Put a patrol counter on another monster, and that monster can't be destroyed by battle or card effect once. So I mean, it's really good. You can protect another monster that way. For the Guard Dragon package, LP, It's LP. Pain, the Triple Burst, and Heretic Link. The Triple Burst has actually worked in the Sky Striker matchup as well, because they can't trigger Ray in the graveyard. If you're going second, you don't really need to do your Guard Dragon play, you can just wait till main phase 2. And then main phase 1, just go into this, ram over their card, and just profit from there, like why not? Nightmare Phoenix for utility. This is the only card in my extra deck that I haven't made all day. There wasn't a time that I was thinking like, oh, now I have to go and make Nightmare Phoenix, and then I can start playing again. Like, this card, it didn't matter at all. I'm probably going to take it out. I'm not sure for what card I'm going to replace it with yet. I have enough back row disruption as it is, apparently, and yeah, this card just kind of gets in the way sometimes, and I'm just gonna take it out. Like, it's not that great. It hasn't been that great all day, so if you never summon it, it tells a lot. And then the Boral brothers, Boral Sword, Boral Load. I've made Boral Sword every time that I went second and won. I made Boral Load twice. One time I summoned it out of the Pain just so I can steal a monster. But going into Boral Load is more like a last minute resort, like a game you shouldn't be able to win. You go into Boral Load, you steal your monster, and you might win, so yeah. That's it for the links. It's actually a lot of link monsters in here. The one Fusion, Allies Vortex Dragon, you summon this from the Pain, so you don't need Absolute Dragon. And for Exceeds, Abyss Dweller, most importantly for the Orcust, the Danger, and the Salamangreat matchups. Tornado Dragon, still important for the Sky Striker matchup, it helps so much. Also, if they have anti-spell and you can just make this, pop their card, it's great. And it's also good preemptively against the Mystic Mining deck, because if you make this and they activate the Mystic Mine, you can still chain and destroy it. So there's always that. And then this, well, it's not really a really spicy tech, but I was playing the Performance Trapeze Magician. Just because of the fact that I thought I would be seeing a lot of Mind Burn players, but they were like, oh, there was one Mind deck at the top table somewhere, but it didn't end up topping. But all the other Mind Burn decks were like halfway in the tournament and going downwards, so they were actually failing out. And the Performance Trapeze Magician was actually a way for me to not take any damage equal or below its attack. Like, if you summon it's just continuous effect that you can't take 2500 or less damage. And having this would just ensure me that Just Desert would be needing 6 monsters to do damage, so it can do 3000. Like, 25 won't work. Secret Barrel, they need 13 of my cards to be able to do 2600. If I have a Harmonizing the Scale with one Magician, they already need 14 cards and going up. So, like, those cards aren't doing damage. Like, the only card that can do damage at that point is a Wave Motion Cannon. Point. Just there. Period. What I did use it for, however, in the tournament, because I didn't face any Mind decks, against Sky Striker I made this. So Hayate couldn't attack me directly for damage because, well, this negates the damage. Like, you can't take 1500. So it was really fun. And I've used it twice where I summoned it and used this effect so another monster on my side of the field would be able to attack twice. It's really handy when you have it with Boral Load, but it's also good with things like a Vortex Dragon, a Jackal King, like things with a lot of attack, because it is still Pendulum. You're playing a lot of monsters with a lot of attack, so yeah. So that's the Exceed monsters. And finally, for going first in your combo, the FA Dawn Draxta. Just an additional spell Trap Negate on the field, it's really good. It also lowers its level, so if you make this with the Strudo, and next turn you can send the Strudo to your graveyard with like another Dragon Shrine or a Foolish, you can actually use it on the Dawn Draxter, special summon it as a level 7, as a level 2 to the Strudo, and you can go for another play. Like, you're not probably going to make another Synchro play, because the only other Synchro I'm playing can't be made with Dawn Draxter and the Strudo. But you can go for a link play, and I've used it to go into Boral Swords once and win the duel, so yeah. So Dawn Draxter for going first, and for going second I had Arcanite Magician. Most of the time, your leftover monster in the combo is a spellcaster. If you go with the Strudo, you can actually make Arcanite Magician, in attack or defense, doesn't matter, and unsummon it will get 2 counters. Now, you can remove 1 counter on everywhere from your field and destroy a card your opponent controls. If I do my combo with the Servant, I summon the Jackal King in the beginning. By the time I'll summon my Arcanite Magician, the Jackal King will have like 9 or 11 or even 13 counters, depending on how many spell cards, the draw spell cards I saw, like Into the Void, Upstart, stuff like that. And then you have 2 counters from this. So I can destroy like 10, 15 cards from my opponent. It was crazy. This card is a machine gun. So it's really fun to use. I've summoned it, I think 7 or 8 times, where I got to destroy at least 3 cards. So yeah, just keep on poking their cards away, and at the end you haven't even used its own counters, so it's still at 2/4. It can attack for a huge amount of damage, and it can even get more fun. I haven't done this during the tournament because I just didn't saw the cards in conjunction with each other. But if you have a Spell Power Mastery in your hand after you summon this, you can just activate it and give this card an additional counter because it can hold spell counters. So you can actually give it a counter, so it goes up in attack that way. You can also give it counters with the secondary effect of the Servant, which I mostly use when I've used Into the Void, because if you use Into the Void, yeah, you're going to lose a card. So you just calculate in your head a little bit, how many cards you're going to use and what you're going to have left. And then when the Servant's on the field, you just, okay, discard a card, give a counter on everything that can hold counters. So at that point your Jackal King has already 2, this card will gain counters if you've already made it. It's just amazing. There were so many interactions with this card, I couldn't ignore actually playing the card. It was so good, and I actually loved playing it. You can make it with any one non-tuner spellcaster and any tuner. So the Strudo was just perfect for making this. It was crazy. I don't know what I will change up for the Nightmare Phoenix. I'm probably going to take something that could be more useful in certain matchups, but I'm not really sure yet, as of yet. So yeah, maybe the Wee Witch, maybe another level 7 synchro, just in case I get the Strudo in another situation, or maybe another rank 4, or I'll look into it. I still have to think about that. So yeah, there wasn't really anything that came into mind during the tournament which I wanted to make. So maybe Baguska. Baguska would have actually been nice during the tournament, I feel. Yeah, maybe. I don't really know, but maybe. For side deck, triple MVP Sekka. This card is broken still. I don't know any Pendulum player that isn't playing Denko Sekka, and it has proven again today, like, why. I mean, I've shut down so many cards today, it's great. Against Alter guys, you had 4 back row, just summon Denko. Done. OTK. Against Sky Striker, 3 back row, summon Denko. OTK. It's, wow, it was so amazing. When I pick my side, I always try to make 2 columns. One for the control and trap heavy decks, and 1 column for the combo decks. So in the other column, opposed to the Denkos, I had triple Lava Golem. These were kind of a bit underwhelming today and yesterday. I've only seen them once, and it didn't even work out. So I'm probably going to cut these. They are so doubtful. They are beautiful though. Like Secret First from from PGD. It's really awesome. They're really cool, and they're in good state, but I don't think I should be playing them anymore, like in here. Just other cards would be better, so yeah. Double Twin Twister. The card has actually been okay for me today. Except for one situation. I had it when they had anti-spell, but because of the discard, I didn't have any more cards that I had to discard something useful, and it's it's sometimes you just come one card short because of that. So I might swap these up for MSTs or for Typhoons, but I'm not 100% sure about that. It's kind of sad. On the other spectrum again, I was citing double Mystic Mine against decks that make big boards, like against Orcust, against Thunder Dragon. Just lure out the one negate that they can stop Mystic Mine with. Like in Thunder Dragon, they have Hope Harbinger. If they don't even summon that, this card just it wins the game just on its own. Against Orcust, they don't always main deck Twin Twister or any outs. Their outs are mostly like the Rusty with the Dingirsu. But their most prominent out is the new Orchestrated Counter Trap. So you just have to lure it out. And if you lure it out, you have this to stop any plays. And then you can just stall for a couple of turns until you have your board. And then start playing already. Maybe pick away some negates here and there. And then use Dragon Pit to pop your own Mystic Mine. It's so easy to be using this card. I'm probably going to bump this up to 3. It was a test today and yesterday, but I didn't draw it, but in theory it was so good, and bumping it up to 3 would ensure me drawing it in the matchups that I needed. So yeah, it was it's crazy. And then for my hand trap lineup, I have triple red reboot, the hand trap against back row, Cardinals bunkers. I've seen it twice where I didn't even need to use it. So I had Denko along with the red reboot every time. So that's actually great. If they had something for the Denko, like an Effect Veiler or Solemn Judgment or Warning, I had red reboot for after that. So yeah. And then on the other spectrum, double Lancia. Probably going to bump this up to 3 as well. When the Lava Golems are coming out, I'm probably going to do a third Mystic Mine, a third Lancia, and then a third of something else. Maybe the Twin Twister, maybe something, another card in general. I'm not sure yet. I might start doing another hand trap as well. But yeah, I mean, it worked out, so I was really happy. But yeah, as I said, I'm probably going to take out the Lava Golems, putting a third Mystic Mine, third Lancia, something else. So yeah, I found that I had enough back row disruption with these, so it can be any card. Maybe something for inside like a Gaga Cowboy. It could always be a possibility. But yeah, that was my deck profile. I've explained most of the cards, why I used them, why I didn't use them, what I'm going to swap around, change up. And tomorrow I'm going to do some test hands for you guys with this deck, not with the one that I had in mind, because I don't have a Dragon Caller Magician at the moment. So I can't do the plays that I want to do with that. But I'm definitely going to show you guys. So yeah, KM888 signing off. Ciao!